Well, it's Friday night, and I've been doing some thinking. Um, and as this is my diary, I'm going to forget everybody that's going to be watching this. I'm going to enter this into my own personal diary, and I don't feel like typing. So, um, what have I been thinking about? Well, um, suffice it to say that while a weekly draw is not anything to overly stew about, it is somewhat of a caution flag for me. And what I have spent some time doing this evening is actually taking pause, which I rarely do, by the way. I mean, in terms of kind of looking to see where I am in terms of P&L, in terms of just the overall trading plan. And I mean, I document in my thoughts in the blog every day, and I certainly talk about how I'm feeling, my frame of mind, and all that sort of thing. But I don't really too often uh, really just stop. You know, I vent a little bit, and I get some things off my chest. But it's just you move on, you move on, you move on. Next day comes and all that kind of thing. And next week will be here, and that won't be a problem either. However, um, it is getting late in this race, and I think, and by the way, I think some of you guys have hinted about this in some of your comments, but I really do think I'm getting to the point where I've got to start implementing some seat belts. Um, and again, look back at the last several weeks. I'm still tired. I'm not on my game as much as I should be. Um, I look back at this week, and certainly, even with the sporadic rhythms and the news, um, there certainly were opportunities, and I was not sharp enough. Whether that was a reflection of not being able to adapt from the standstill market at times this week into all of a sudden, the opportunities were there and hesitating, or whether maybe that's a sign of some fatigue in terms of my trading this year. But in any event, I was not particularly sharp at all this week. And again, while a draw in the week isn't certainly any major disaster at all, it is a warning sign for me. Um, and again, forget the 20 some weeks of consecutive gains. I mean that's not the issue, but again, it's a bit of a warning sign for me. And I kind of look at this year this way now. We've got 1 week really of full trading left. You've got Christmas the week after that, and then you've got a partial week before New Year's. And I'm looking at really my trading pretty much being over by next Friday. So that's 1 week to go. And back to one of my recent posts where I mentioned that December 1 was like 3:30 in the afternoon and a trading day. Now we're getting pretty close to 4 o'clock. And I think this week's performance really has me looking back at what I've done, where I am now, and what my plan should be for the coming weeks, or really coming week. And so I'm not going to be I don't think trading a whole lot from here until the end of the year. We'll certainly see what develops next week, and what often happens when I kind of go into this frame of mind is that then you're pretty much there to take advantage of the obvious opportunities that show up. I've been pressing a bit, and today, again, the overnight trade that I mentioned, that's not the issue, but the intraday trading in a market that was fairly fertile at times today. Again, the performance wasn't there, so it tells me I'm not on my game. I mentioned not too long ago I have not taken any days off this year. Even the U.S. holidays, I found a reason to dabble in the Europe trade a little bit. But now I've got to put some seatbelts on. And the last thing I want to do certainly is do any significant damage to both the financial statement and to my psyche between now and December 31st. So with that in mind, I have in front of me actually a tabulation out of my financial system of the year. And although, again, I don't know what the equity balance is at, it's certainly giving me some guidance in terms of really how I want to treat the next couple of weeks. I certainly don't want to have a loss in December. I am positive by just under 60,000 on the month. I'm thinking about maybe having a protective stop. Maybe I set it at 50, and if I hit that, just stop for the year, stop for the month. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to see how Monday and Tuesday develops, but suffice it to say that I probably deserve a vacation. And I'm going to plan on taking the last 2 weeks in December to pretty much do that. If I do any trading, gosh darn it, it better be pretty light. And while I won't discuss the year's tally, although obviously if you look at the performance charts in the left-hand margin of the blog, you can add up the numbers and kind of see where that's at. I try not to focus a whole lot on that, and I still won't do that until we get closer to the end of the year. But again, all I'm doing tonight really is thinking to myself and talking to myself as much as anything else in terms of reminding myself that it probably is time to take care of myself, to take care of my business, my financial statement, and at the same time again try to give you some insights into what kind of goes through my head. I think a lot is made, a lot of hype and smoke and mirrors. And this industry is addressing the fact that this is a glamour industry. It's kind of like the whole poker world right now. And that's not the case. This is a lot of sweat and toil. And I think that's got to be obvious, throughout the postings over the past 6 months or so. And this is the sort of thing. It's sometimes proper to take pause and do some thinking and certainly just keep on keeping on. So I'm really rambling tonight, but I need to prepare myself for the coming week, which I really view as my last week of trading this year. And while the race may officially end on the 31st, by the end of next week, which will be December 19th, I'm pretty much going to lock everything up. So just some thoughts on a Friday night. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you later.